It is a sad day today. Unfortunately, we were hit by the news that Tribe 9 will be ending its service on November 27, 2025. Ironically, it's ending its service on Thanksgiving in the United States. Yikes. It's a huge shame because I think Tribe 9 was a great game and a gem in the gacha space. I play a lot of gacha games and I cover whatever I feel like on my channel. I knew eventually one of the games I cover would end of service, but I wasn't expecting one to EOS this soon, especially Tribe 9 since the game has not come out for more than 3 months yet. It's such a shame because Tribe 9 was good in terms of the story, visual presentation, the artwork, voice acting, and combat, but I think the game itself was pretty niche and it didn't capture an audience outside the Danganronpa and Tribe 9 anime fans. I think a lot of the issues stem from its horrific official launch. I feel like first impression nowadays are more important than they ever were. There's an oversaturation of gacha games, and I think instead of getting new players outside the gacha space, Tribe 9 was trying to take players away from existing gacha games. Gacha players are becoming less tolerant of bullshit. If company tries to do scumbag shit or anything that the player feels like they've been wronged for, they'll review bomb the game until they get a response or quit and never come back. In Tribe 9's case, the management team did some scumbag shit. In my opinion, it's like a bait and switch. To give more context to the Tribe 9 situation, they had 2 beta tests and overall received good feedbacks from the community. The art and animation was good, story was well thought out, characters were unique, and the game seems incredibly free-to-play friendly. The combat was a little bit clunky and needed work. The devs acknowledged the players' feedback and decided to rework a lot of the combat mechanics. Overall, very positive reception and it generated some hype for the game. But for some reason, they did not do another beta test, and I think this is the beginning of their downfall. Tribe 9 had one of the worst launches in gacha game history. The management team removed/reduced most of the gacha currency that can be obtained from exploration, questing, or just doing the story. And if there's one thing that you don't do is you don't fuck with the gacha players' polls. I think I got like 20 to 30ish polls for finishing chapter 1 and 2. That is really low compared to the beta. In the beta, players were getting more than 100 polls by just completing chapter 1. Now, maybe it's not realistic to get that amount of polls on the official release, but 20 to 30ish polls from just completing 2 chapters is just sad. You didn't get any gacha currency for doing dailies on launch. Players feeling betrayed is an understatement. Aside from the free-to-play gacha currency fiasco, the game feels like it launched at an incomplete and in an unpolished state. For some reason, they removed the skip button on launch when it was present in the beta. The game was missing a lot of basic quality of life features like sorting and filtering. Features that you think should be included in the game on launch were not there. The new combat system was okay, but felt slow and needed more polishing. The tension card system was a huge mess and had massive flaws. There were a lot of small annoyances that kept on piling up one and another. Honestly, I think all this could have been prevented if they just did another beta test, collected the player's opinion, then officially released the game. It was a complete scummy and greedy move from the management team, and it was obvious to the players. Seeing all the backlash they were receiving, the Tribe 9's team went on full damage control. They did whatever they can to salvage the game. They added and increased the amount of gacha currency and polls you can receive for doing quests, story, and exploration. They rewarded gacha currencies for doing dailies and even changed the banner rates. If you do the dailies and daily deliveries, you get 1 1/4 of a poll. That's really generous for doing dailies. There's probably like a handful of gacha games that will reward you for 1 poll a day for doing dailies. With the banner rate change, they issued refunds for all the gacha currency or pulls used up to a certain date. Along with these changes, the developers promised to bring more QOL and changes to the game. These changes were well received by the players that decided to give the game another chance. To give credit where credit is due, the developers kept their promises. Each update comes with good QoL updates and good changes. They made improvements to a lot of issues the game had on launch, like the tension card system, improving the tempo of combat, and brought back the skip button. The players can tell the developers is putting a lot of effort and love towards the game. So even though the players were satisfied with the game, why did the company announce EOS? I think a huge cause is the game wasn't marketing very well. The only marketing I've seen was them sponsoring some CCs to do a video, and honestly, I don't think those sponsored videos did very well. It failed to capture a bigger audience. Even when they got people playing their game, I think they failed on retaining their player base. There was not a lot of things to do after you finish the story or building your character's build. There was a lackluster events. It's kind of ironic that Tribe 9 announcing its EOS brought more attention to the game than whatever marketing they tried to do. Also, with adding more gacha currency and pulls, changing their banner rates and issuing refunds on gacha currency and pulls, they probably could not recoup the cost of development. You could say they might have overdone it with the changes. It was great for players, but very bad from a company perspective. And I'll be honest, I abused the refund. Basically, I purchased all the one-time packs, battle pass, daily login rewards, and spent it all before they issued the refund. When they issued the refund, I had so much gacha currency to probably cover over 5 pities. I probably didn't have to spend a dime on the game for at least 6 months with how generous the game is now. And I probably was not the only one who abused the refund. I mean, why wouldn't you when it gives you 100% back of what you spent? So Akatsuki released their financial report, and on their section about Tribe 9, it states it was below sales expectation and operational review was underway. Their final decision was to end of service instead of continuing to work on the game. It super sucks because Tribe 9 was a great game. In my opinion, it's better than 90% of the gacha games out there now. I think they are probably going to reallocate their resources from Tribe 9 to their new game, which is Kaiju number 8. Well, it was fun while it lasted. If you have not played Tribe 9 and is still interested in playing, I'd still recommend it. This game respects your time and has a lot of good features. It will be up until November 27th. Hope you enjoy this video and have a great day.